If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord Food Co-op.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Nazzy from the Pulse of New Hampshire. Welcome to the Concord Co-op Community Connections. I am your host. Now, before we get into today's tasty subject, we've got to say hello to Greg Lessard. And Greg, everybody wants to know, how did the talent show go this past Saturday night? And were you able to do your famous spinning plates trick? No?
No, they actually, because you said I was going to do that, they were blocking the stage. I was trying to get up there, but it was a phenomenal show. Everyone loved it. It just went flawlessly, and the acts were great. So we will be putting it on the Concord Coalition and Homelessness website, and so people can still watch it. But it was a great show.
Now,
and we raised $36,000 for the Concord Coalition and Homelessness.
That's what I wanted to know. Now, how many different families is that money going to help? Just because that's a lot of money. How many people is that going to help?
It's hard to say. I mean, we run an emergency winter shelter, the resource center that provides services all day long. So, it helps. It makes a significant impact on these individuals' lives.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you to everybody that donated. All right, let's get down to business. Joining us right now from SHARA Vineyards, we have Ray Connor, of course, established in 2012. It's a small artisan winery located in the capital. Welcome, Ray.
Thank you. It's great to
So
be
tell us a little bit about your winery and what makes it so unique and special to everybody.
Yeah, we're pretty darn unique because especially with this rebranding we're doing. So we are about 2.5 acres of hybrid grapes, and it's hybrid grapes of like the Vinous vinifera variety people are used to, like a Pinot Noir, and a cold hardy American varietal that allows us to grow all of our grapes in Concord, despite the snow and the rain. And what we do here, which is really special, is we don't use any chemicals, synthetic pesticides or chemicals in our vineyard. And then we are actually doing a natural wine in our winery. So that means we don't add anything. We don't add a yeast strain. We don't add any sulfites. We don't add any bacteria. We just do really like old school wine production here at a very small scale. So it's truly artisan, and I can't use the word organic, but we're not using anything that's not on the organic standards list.
Now, does that change the taste of the wine because you're not adding any of that stuff?
Absolutely.
Is it sweeter, bitter?
Yeah. So what it is it's expressive. So when you hear the word terroir in the wine world, you think about the earth. It's like it's like a wine tastes like the earth from which it is derived. So our wine tastes like the soil, like our Concord granite soil. It tastes like our climate. It tastes tough and cool sometimes. The grapes are really fruity and highly acidic. So our wines express fruit and acid a lot, and less tannin. Although we process it in a way that tries to extract a lot of that more tannic quality out of the skins. So it's through our processing that we create sort of this balance, but it's less of a chemistry set and more of an intuitive way to go about making wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought that there would be a vineyard in Concord. For some reason, I just always, obviously grapes grow here. They're small, or the Concord grape is but I just thought it had to be a warmer climate for that. So why is that? Why does it work here in Concord, New Hampshire?
Well, so that's about that hybrid piece, right? So University of Minnesota is where we got the hybrids really planted, the Marquette grape. Universities, grapes are growing up in Canada, but it's thanks to agricultural technology that allows us to make these beautiful hybrid grapes. And hybrid grape wine isn't like showcased very often, but there are some amazing producers in New England starting to make these hybrid wines, including in New Hampshire. There are about 30 wineries here, believe it or not, and some of them actually grow their own grapes. We grow all of our own grapes. But this is sort of like the wave of the future. And honestly, with climate change, with weather becoming a little warmer, a little further north, we might see more and more wineries popping up that are actually growing their own food, which is awesome.
Now, how do you get to that perfect, the perfect blend? Because obviously it's trial and error.
Well, let's remove the word perfect from a vocabulary. So a lot of times in wine, we're looking for this balance between like acid, tannin, and fruit, this perfect thing. But within natural wine, what we're looking for again is expression. So each year our wine tastes different because each year the climate's different. Each year the grapes grow differently. And each year our technique is so intuitive that maybe like we stomp it a little less, or maybe it's hot out, so it ferments quicker, or maybe, so we're not in a controlled environment. So when you say perfect, I think if you can taste something exciting, if you can get a sense of place in that, if each year it tastes different, but you can kind of get a sense of this is SHARA, then you know that we're cultivating that like personality, but you also know that it's very wild. I wanted to call our wines unrefined, but I got a little pushback from our winemakers and owners about maybe giving the wrong impression, but like that notion that we're not refining it, we're not filtering it, we're like allowing it to be who it is or what it is. Yeah.
And what got you into the business of?
That's really random. I've been a farmer for many, many years. My last farm was a permaculture inspired farm. I grew mostly meats and vegetables. And my partner and I stumbled on this vineyard. So we didn't actually plant the 2012 grapes, right? We're planting new stuff. We stumbled on it about 4 years ago. And it's been an adventure. And then we recently hired our new winemaker, Nicholas Kimberly, who has brought us into the natural wine world, and he's educating us a lot. It's really fun. And we're open all weekends in the season. So I just want to put that out there to come visit and see the place. Yeah.
I'm completely intrigued by this. Now, with a traditional wine, you're supposed to let it sit for a while. What about your wines? Can we let them sit in the bottle for a few years and they'll still have that same taste?
Yeah. So, there's this notion that you have to like put sulfites in the bottle to sterilize it so it doesn't change once it's bottled. But within natural wine, we bottle it and expect it to change. And the bottling and aging process just creates a different, more mature wine. Typically there's oxidation. And so the flavors change. You lose the fruit. You get a little bit more, bitterness and tannicness. And so I love to keep wine in store. Like we have the 3 years old wine, 4 years old wines that we're just tasting every year and just like noticing what happens. I tasted a 1960 natural wine at a convention 2 years ago, and it was weird and wild and a little bit like a cellar and a little like, bitter, and I loved it. You could still sort of taste the fruit, but the fruit was mostly gone. It was cool.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned that folks can come up to your farm or vineyard on the weekends. What will they see, or what can they do, and can they purchase your wine there? Or
absolutely. So we have a wine garden. It's beautiful. It's outdoors. It's in the sunlight. There's shade if you need it. We have a beautiful 2.5 acre vineyard you can walk through. We actually do tours if you reserve a spot on a tour. And we will talk your ear off about production because we're so excited about it. And then you'll get to meet our winemaker or one of our 2 winemakers now. And we'll also talk your ear off about natural wines. And you can taste all of our wines that are open that day. And then you can purchase glasses. And we're going to have live music Friday night starting June 11th. And we're trying to put together really eclectic music that you don't hear a lot of. So it'll be fun.
We need this. This is really what we need, just a night out where we can taste different wines, enjoy music, and just relax. I think everybody needs this. Right,
especially with COVID. Last year was great. We had people outside. There was no worries. Social distance is easy. It's wonderful. Yeah.
And do you know offhand the wines that are available at the Concord Food Co-op? Your wines that are available?
So far we only have the 2018 wine there. It's not technically a natural wine, but it was all organic practices in the production of that wine on the farm. Our 2019s are going to be called SHARA. So the first was Mermaid Hill, and now we're transitioning to SHARA. And we have 3 of those wines. I'm not sure what the co-op is going to purchase. So we'll see. And then 2020 is when we have our natural wines in production, and those will be released this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of natural wine. I mean, I'm intrigued now.
It's so cool.
Before we let you go, where is your vineyard? How do people get there?
Yeah, our vineyard's at 82 Courier Road, so right in West Concord, right near Beachville Farm, which I like to promote. You can get some ice cream and come get some wine. It's not the greatest pairing, but you can take a mint between. But it's really fun. And we're open again Saturdays noon to 4 right now. It'll be noon to 6 later. Sundays the same time, and Friday evening starting June 11th. And find us on Facebook, Instagram, and online.
Everywhere. We love. What's next? What's the future hold for the vineyards?
I mean, just producing like really high quality natural wines. It's an art. We're cultivating the art. We're growing. We're going to put more grapes in the ground. Oh, and we are also working with a no spray, really old orchard in Hopkinton. So we have apple wine coming, which is really,
wow.
It's an apple and grape mix blend. It'll be coming in 2 months probably.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it, and we'll have you back on again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Al. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank you. Bye now.
That sounds amazing. You find the best guest, Greg. You really, really do. You find the best guest.
Everyone likes to hear about a nice local wine, but our next guest is, well, do the intro, if you will, Nazzy.
So we've got Walter. Now, Walter, you are, hold on. Did you send me the bio for Walter?
Yes, I did. I think I did, but maybe not. But Walter, introduce yourself. Save us both.
Walter.
Yeah, no problem. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. Well, I'm the export director for La Riojana Cooperative in Argentina. We are in La Rioja province in the northwest of the country. And we are a cooperative of small growers. We have roughly 500 small family producers in our cooperative, which was founded in 1940. Actually, it was founded in 1939. We had our first vintage in 1940. And in 1999, we started producing or converting into organic. 2001, we started converting into fair trade wines. And since 2005, 2006, we are an organic and fair trade certified winery from Argentina. And actually, probably the largest producer of the combination of organic and fair trade wines in the world. We also have organic and fair trade olive oil, which is also unique in the world. And since last year, we started also converting our vineyards into biodynamic, which is even more than organic, because it's not only that we don't use any pesticides or any chemicals, and we do everything by hand. Well, our growers are very small producers anyway, they do everything by hand. But also we respect, being biodynamic, we respect also the cycles of the moon and the sun, and like in the very old days, production of food used to be. And that's really changing the culture of our cooperative and our growth.
So Walter, you're our first guest on Co-op Community Connections from a different country. So we're live streaming on Facebook right now with you in Argentina. So this is fabulous. Now the co-op has Riojana wines, and actually it's my wife's favorite. She said that it's at a great price point, and she just thinks it's just one of the best wines out there, especially at the price point. But do you sell your wines everywhere, or do you have specific channels that your wine is available through?
It is mainly, really, probably 99% in the co-op stores across the country. Mm-hmm. I met the National Cooperative Grocer Organization in 2014 at their annual conference, and I made a presentation. I introduced myself to the general managers, most of the general managers of the cooperative across the United States, and presented our cooperative, our projects, our fair trade wines. And we started working directly. Of course, we have an import and we have distributors, but the deal is directly with the cooperative stores. And this allows us to be very, very competitive in price. So our wines should normally retail probably $4 or $5 more expensive than they normally are due to the quality they have. But dealing directly, working open book, co-op to co-op, in this co-op to co-op program, we can really make an honest deal where everyone wins. And even the customers, the consumers, they can get really great value. In 2014, I remember that after my presentation, the general manager said, everything is lovely. We like very much the idea and the projects, but you have to convince our wine buyers. So what I did is for 11 months, I rented a car and drove like over 30,000 miles and visited one by one every store in the country. I was in New Hampshire. I was in all the stores in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, all New England, all the West Coast, all the
Wow.
Midwest, the South. It was great to see the country. I did it. I did as efficient as I could. It took me 11 months, and since end of 2014, we are in 200 cooperative stores in the country.
Wow. Now I've got two questions for you. First off, my mother would ask you this question. She'd want to know, what's the weather like right now in Argentina? Is it sunny? Is it warm? What's it like right now?
We're running into the autumn here, and we had the first snow in the mountains, so it's getting cold. I mean, cold here means I don't know in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius is probably 15, 16 degrees. So it's probably in the 70s for you.
Yeah, 50s and 60s.
Yeah, 60s.
Yep.
Not very cold for you.
No, that's comfortable for me. And my second question, how did you get into this? How did you get into this industry? Because you're doing phenomenal. What made you want to do this?
Me personally, you mean?
Yeah, you personally.
Yeah, well, it's a long story actually, but I was at college when I was 25. I've been working for La Riojana. This June is going to be 22 years. Mm-hmm. It's cooperatives are a bit like that. Myself also, I'm a bit like that too. Loyal, long-term, committed. Especially when you work in fair trade, when you like the impact that we can create in the communities, not only for our members, growers, but also for the communities where our workers and members live through the fair trade. Basically, the winery wanted to start exporting in 1999, and they called the university where I was studying, and they said, have you got some students that you can recommend for a position? We want to open our export department. I was studying English, German, and foreign international commerce. And they sent a list of 10 guys, including me. So I went to La Rioja, drove all night, and had an interview 7:30 a.m. And, probably I'm born commercial, so I sold myself. I convinced them I was the right guy. I think I was the second one they interviewed, but they hired me right away. And since then, I never left. I'm very happy working for La Riojana. It's a great place to work. It's great what we do, especially, I don't know how much you know, but being fair trade means, among many, many other things, that part of the profit, for every bottle we sell, it's a part of the profit goes back in projects to the community.
Yep.
And in the last 15 years, including Europe and the States and Canada, we have collected over $3 million. Wow. Can you imagine that for a country like Argentina?
Wow.
So we've done many, many things, great projects that you can also see in our Instagram or in our website. We have film, everything is film. All the stories are recorded in little documentary films, and the impact is huge.
It's a great business model, and co-ops are so fortunate to have Riojana wines. It's co-ops have unique products, and yours is a unique product that is offered through co-ops. So I would advocate that individuals hearing this definitely shop co-op and pick up your wine. It is it's the one my wife likes. It's a $10 bottle of wine, but as you said, that should be much. She prefers it over much higher priced wine. So great value, great wine. And I would really advocate that individuals come into the Concord Food Co-op or their local co-op and to try your wine. It's a wonderful product.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your words. We're very proud about what we're doing.
As it should be. My wife's going to be checking this out now too. I mean, this sounds yummy.
Yeah, when she comes in for the Smart Chicken, she can put a little Riojana wine in her basket as well. So good.
Why not?
You're learning all the great products at the co-op one at a time, Nazzy. Great.
Absolutely.
And tell her that every time she buys a bottle, every time we sell a case, $1 or $2 go to the project. Now we are finalizing a little clinic in the middle of the desert where we have done first a running water project in a little village. Then we built a high school in a town that didn't have any.
Oh, wow.
And now we're finalizing the clinic that will cover 5 villages, about 10,000 people with currently no access to healthcare, especially in these days with COVID and everything else. So important to have this ready. So we're finalizing now. Building is ready. We're collecting money for all the equipment, and if you see the films, the impact is huge. The school is completely free, 650 students in a village that had never had a high school. So the children, they will finalize the primary school and go start working at the vineyards. And after 10 years, they're 100% at the university, in college, studying,
Wow.
working, getting jobs at the winery now, 3 of them.
Wow.
It's
Well, knowing that, she's going to be filling the cart with Riojana wines.
I have a feeling. Well, Walter, listen, we want to thank you so very much for joining us from Argentina. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. Really,
Glad you're on.
I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time you have given us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the
Thank
hard
you
work
very
you do
much.
to support us.
Yep, absolutely. We will talk to you next time on the Concord Co-op Community Connections on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Nazzy.
Yeah, great talking to you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord Food Co-op.